Yeah, good morning, everyone. Uh, we had seen last 2 days, that is Thursday and Friday, US market has moved up very sharply, mainly driven by ahead of expected retail sales. Retail sales grew month on month by 0.7%, whereas expectation was that it will decline by around 0.2%. And apart from that, there was a very good start by the corporate results in US. In first week, around 40 companies has reported number, and around 80% of them has reported result ahead of expectations. So that has taken the market in positive territory in last 2 days, and it's near to its all-time high now. Similar was the case with Asian market also. Asian market were positive on Friday, but today they are seeing some softness, and also the futures of the US are also marginally soft. Whereas commodities are seeing a lot of disruptions, mainly on account of shortage of energy and all, and are seeing some plants getting closed down because of the availability of the energy, that is coal or gas, and various furnaces are getting closed, and because of that we are seeing base metal prices are moving up. So aluminum is up by around 1.5%, copper is up by around 2.8%. On Friday, zinc was up by around 7%, and today morning, iron ore in China is down by around 2.5% as the requirement of the raw material will reduce as furnaces are getting closed, and steel is flat. And oil is also reaching near to $86. Now I'll request technical team to take up from here first.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. This is Swati. Last week, we have seen a very great momentum into the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Nifty has just close to our target level, which we are emphasizing at 18,400 levels. And Bank Nifty is about trading above 39,400 level, which gives a very strong bullish indications. Now, today, the market is likely to open on a flattish note, but we are going to witness some positive move during the day. On the Nifty front, it has an immediate resistance at around 18,400, 18,440 levels can be seen. Whereas on a downside, the support is placed at 18,270, the first immediate support level. If it's break that level, then we are going to witness a little bit profit booking, which might take a Nifty towards 18,100, 18,000 levels. Now, 18,000 will act as a psychological support level as long as it trades above that level. The Nifty is likely to continue its positive momentum towards 18,400 to 18,600 levels on the higher side. On the Bank Nifty front, technically it's showing a very strong indication that it probably touched the fit of 40,000 levels on the higher sides, as this particular indices is trading in the pattern of higher tops and higher bottom, and it has given consolidation breakouts, which gives a very positive sign on technical front. For the today intraday purpose, 39,700 is the immediate resistance zone. If it's cleared at level, then 40,000 levels can be seen in the coming 1 to 2 days. Whereas the support is placed at 39,100 levels, and below that level, 38,900, 38,800 levels can be seen on the downside. The overall view on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty is definitely positive as long as the Nifty trades above 38,800 and the Nifty trades above 38,100. On the Nifty finance side, for the today intraday purpose, the resistance is placed at 19,000 levels. If it's break that level, then 19,100, 19,220 levels can be seen on the higher side. Whereas the support is placed at 18,780 and 18,650. So these are the important support and resistance levels. Stocks are really doing very well in the market. As of now, we are more emphasizing into the mid cap stocks because right now they have started participation into this particular rally. So among the mid cap stocks, Amar Raja Battery really looks very good. Sequent, this particular counter is also doing very good on the technical front. 250 levels can be seen. Those who have missed this particular counter on the buy position, they can just create a long positions into the Sequent for a target of 250. Stop loss can be kept at 210 level. I think that's it from my end. I request derivative guys to take a call forward.
Thank you, Swati. On the derivative front, see, very importantly, we've closed above the 18,000 levels, and there's a second consecutive close above the same. So that is a positive. Also, we crossed the 18,300 level, which was a resistance. Now it opens up upside up to 18,500 odd levels. We are going to open 50-60 points up and likely to move up towards the 18,500 odd level. So look out for the same. The index at this point of time is aggressively moving up, and there's not much change in the data. The open interest hasn't changed much. PCR OI is still at comfortable levels, but the VIX hasn't decreased much. It has still continued to remain around the 16 levels, and that does suggest some sort of riskiness in the markets. So now, the best thing to do is you continue to hold longs, but trail stop loss. And now, the earlier stop loss was 18,000. The stop loss now moves up towards 18,200 levels. So if Nifty goes below the 18,200 levels, that is when you exit positions. Till then, you can continue to hold longs. From the stock specific front, Wipro has seen a lot of open interest change. The short covering has come in for the stock, and the stock has moved up. It has witnessed a breakout. So one can look to buy this along with Oracle Finance. It has had good open interest built up in the last few sessions. So one can look to buy that stock as well. Pharma also looks pretty good at this point of time. Dr. Reddy, especially with the amount of short covering which has gone on in the last few sessions, it means this stock can move up towards the 53-5400 levels. That's it from my side. I'd like to ask the fundamental team to take over.
Good morning. The 4,000 crore fundraising deal which they were going to do with Carlyle, citing pending legal issues. So this is negative for the company. Now this is back to square one from where it all began. So stock will underperform from these levels. HDFC Bank result was in line with expectation. Slippage in NPA was again in line and slightly dipped from Q1 levels. However, restructured book has increased from 0.7% to 1.5%. The bank has said that maximum slippage from this restructured book will be 10 to 20 basis points. So this is not a big concern. On other side, bank sounded bullish on growth in all segments, particularly in the retail, rural and SME side. They are going to aggressively continue expanding in the rural side where there is less competition and higher yields. Also, year-on-year growth for the bank has been at 15% in September quarter, which we feel going forward can increase to around 18 to 20%. And this will be very good considering the high base of loan book of almost 12 lakh crores. So we are positive for HDFC Bank. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. DMart announced their results during the weekend, and results were marginally ahead of expectation. We had already got the idea what the company would report the sales in their Q2 business update. So this sales came in line what the company has said. The margins have come little better at 8.8% versus expectation of 8.2%. The company has also did a soft launch of DMart Ready, that's their online delivery business in the cities of Surat and Vadodara. So everything is kind of positive, and we had seen that since the company had given the business update, the stock has moved drastically in the past 1 week or so. The stock now trades at 140 times FY23 EPS, which is little higher, and we believe uh, the stock is expensive and likely to remain expensive. We recommend people to hold on the stock, whoever is holding it, and for fresh buy should wait for any dip rather than buying now. Another news is that Metropolis has acquired 100% stake in Dr. Ganeshan's high-tech diagnostic center and along with its subsidiary Central Lab for 636 crores. This is 5 times of almost combined revenues of both these labs. The company has been pursuing this deal for over a year, and we have seen in between that they have sometimes said that now we have not doing this, then again they are doing this. So this is, we believe, is positive given that there is a closure on this deal now, and the company was quite keen on this acquisition. Also, government has imposed anti-dumping duty on imports of acetoacetyl derivatives of aromatics or heterocyclic compounds, also known as arlylites, from China PR in the range of 25 to 45%. This is positive for Lakshmi Organics, which is the sole producer of this product. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. HCL Tech has posted its result. The company has posted below expectation numbers for the quarter, with CC Q-on-Q revenue growth coming in at 3.5%. The growth was majorly supported by growth in the services business, which grew by 5.2% in CC terms. Product and platform business declined by 8% in CC terms because some deals slipped from September to December, which is expected to bounce back next quarter. Overall, management has maintained its double-digit growth guidance for FY22 with the EBIT, and has also maintained the EBIT margin guidance in the range of 19 to 21%. Growth will be driven majorly by the services business, and product and platform business is expected to grow by 0 to 1%. Outlook is neutral on the company. Other than this, Cient has posted its result. The company has posted inline set of numbers for the quarter, with dollar revenue coming in at 150 million versus expectation of 148.8 million. Management has maintained its double-digit guidance for FY22, with the growth continuing from Q3 FY22. And has increased the margin guidance and with improvement of 250 to 300 bips as compared to 200 bips guided earlier. Share is trading at 26 times FY22 EPS. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Last week on 13th October, Belgium-based Nirstar, which is one of the largest zinc producers, announced a reduction in output at its 3 European smelters by 50% due to rising power prices and costs associated with carbon emissions. Followed by this, on Friday, another top zinc producer, Glencore PLC, announced the production cut at its 3 European plants due to surging power prices. This is positive for Hindustan Zinc and Vedanta. Another news: Coal India had asked its subsidiaries to refrain from conducting e-auction of coal for non-power use. Coal companies are ramping up more supplies to power plants in preference over non-power use. This is negative for the company. Thank you.
Yeah, apart from this, India Bull Real Estate announced the results, and if you see the fresh booking has grown to 514 crore in Q2 as compared to 350 crore last year, last quarter, and around 348 crore last year. So this is more of in line with what other company in the real estate has reported, and as such, nothing so great surprising. We are already seeing bullishness in stock because of good fresh booking in the Q2, and the same thing is getting reflected into India Bull Real Estate. And management has also indicated that the merger with Embassy Group is in process, and NCLT hearing, which is the last step which is pending, is likely to happen in the next quarter. So it may still take around 3-4 months from here to get the merger of Embassy and Indiabulls Real Estate get completed. Apart from that, Mahindra CI has announced the results, and results were in line with expectations. The result got impacted because of the shortage of semiconductor, and management has indicated that the shortage of semiconductor and the impact of the result will continue in the even December quarter as well. No doubt, outlook for the longer term is comparatively positive, but in short term, the Q4 result will again get impacted because of the shortage of the semiconductor. Tata Power, there was a news that maybe is trying to raise fund for their renewable energy of around $500 million from the pension funds. So that may have some positive impact on that company as well. Apart from that, now the results for Wednesday. The results which are mainly key results which are likely to come are Angel One, that is Angel Broking. Here we are seeing that the broking companies are reporting good numbers and good growth in the coming period. Even the new accounts opening are also consistently remaining higher, over 25 lakhs per month. So this is likely to benefit Angel One and may report good numbers. Then Havells India is likely to report number, and the numbers are likely to be more of a flattish, though year-on-year revenue is likely to increase by around 20%, but the margins last year was at around 17%, is likely to come off to 14%. Last quarter, it came down substantially to 13.5%. From there, it will be increasing by around 50 basis points, but still will be very short of the last year trend. Then Jubilant Food is likely to report good numbers. Revenue is likely to increase by around 30% year-on-year, and profit is and also the EBITDA is also likely to increase by around 27%. And the margins are likely to be maintained year-on-year. Then Syngene International is likely to report number. Here the numbers are likely to show improvement. Last quarter, the margin dipped to 25%, and this quarter again, it is likely to bounce back to 30%. Last year, it was at around 29%. The revenue is likely to grow by around 16%, and EBITDA is likely to grow by around 22%. So, Syngene result is likely to show improvement. Tata Communication is likely to report number, and numbers are likely to be more of a flattish, both year-on-year and quarter-on-quarter. Tata Steel long product is likely to report, and the results are likely to show some declining trend. Volume is also likely to decline by around 10% quarter-on-quarter and 18% year-on-year. And also they will be facing the higher cost of coking coal, which will impact the margin. So the overall results are likely to be Tata Steel long product declining. Then Hathway Cable result is there. We had already seen DEN Network and GTPL Hathway results. Both were flat. So GTPL Hathway Cable data also is likely to report flattish number. Just Dial is likely to report number on Wednesday. Numbers are likely to be more of okay set of numbers. Revenue is likely to show some improvement quarter-on-quarter by around 12%, as last quarter was having a severe impact of lockdown, and also year-on-year also the revenues are likely to increase by 10%, but margins are, last quarter company had a very high ad spend, which and there was a lower revenue, so nothing got absorbed. So, and this quarter possibilities that the advertisement spend will come down and revenue has increased. So as such, EBITDA is likely to report improvement quarter-on-quarter, but year-on-year is still it will be short. So results are more of a likely to be okay. Then Super Stop is likely to report number. Here we may see good improvement in Super Stop numbers. Last quarter and last year both were impacted because of lockdown majorly, but now revenues are likely to show improvement with more of a around 80% of their store were open, and of that, around 70% of the store were utilized. As such, revenue is likely to increase by almost uh, two times last quarter numbers. That is around company is likely to report around 600 crores of revenue in this quarter, and EBITDA also is likely to turn positive in this quarter to 53 crores. But at net level, it will continue to report 43 crores, around 40 crores loss. The the optimal revenue is somewhere around 750 800 crores and at that level the company can do comparatively much better, and quite possible in the third quarter it may reach to those levels. So the outlook on the Super stock is positive as well. Apart from that, one more result is that L&T Finance and Holding is likely to report number. Here again, the loan book is likely to continue to decline quarter on quarter, and there will be some reduction in the provisioning in this quarter, but still provisioning will continue to remain higher, though quarter on quarter there may be some decline. Fee income is also likely to decline as the loan book is declining. So overall, the result is likely to be under pressure and more of a declining result. We skip on a small company result, that is Sangam India. That Sangam India is in textile and has reported good number because of the very good high revenue company has reported, and EBITDA margin remain more of a stable. But because of the high revenue, the profitability has increased substantially. So Sangam India has reported good numbers, and apart from that, one of the key investors, that is Madhu Kela wife, under his wife name, that is Mrs. Madhu Kela, will be taking 21 lakh shares as a warrant in this particular company. So this, and that too at a price of around 180. The CMP was around 210. So the stock can remain in limelight for a few days because of this event. So that's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.